Hello, my name is Adrian, and have you ever wondered when someone has a seizure what really occurred it to happen in the first place? Well, today I'll be informing you why they occur and what seizures really are and how it can affect someone who lives with it on a daily basis. But in order to do so, firstly, I have to understand that epilepsy, or what most people call them seizures, is a neurological disorder, which is surges of electricity going on throughout the brain, and pretty much it causes kind of activity that sets off different kinds of nerves, which will eventually cause the seizure. Now, there's also tumors in the brain that could also cause that as well, but there has also been cases where there hasn't really been a reason for why someone may be having a seizure, because they might not be diagnosed, or they might not have a tumor. Now, there's many different causes for a seizure to occur, such as lack of sleep or insomnia, which is kind of the same thing but a little different, stress, mental health, and it can also be due to overall just constant pressure on someone. Now, there's three main types of different seizures: absent seizures, tonic-clonic seizures, and focal epilepsy. Now, absent seizures is usually as in the name, you're absent. They lose all awareness, and you just realize that they're just staring off into space. They're out of focus, and they don't last long. They're very temporary, but there are possibilities that it could lead to a further, more dangerous seizure. The second, tonic-clonic seizures are more of like the serious ones, where you usually hear that, when someone has a seizure, they're tense and like moving around like crazy. That's usually when the muscles are tensing up and relaxing at the same time. And when that's happening, that person could swallow their tongue or just even bite it off. That's why most people will put a towel in someone's mouth or something to resist them from biting into their tongue or swallowing it. The third, which is focal epilepsy, is a mix of everything, because it could attack any part of the brain, and it can lead to different kinds of seizures. So it's kind of like one main connection to multiple variants of a seizure. Now, epilepsy is kind of like an off and on thing. There's medicine for it, but it's also common for the medicine not to help, and even when doses are raised, it could actually increase the amount of seizures you have rather than lower it. Now, I learned this by using three sources really, as well as my own personal experiences. But the three main sources I used was the Epilepsy Foundation, which is a source that really explains what epilepsy really is and how it affects someone who has to deal with it on a daily basis. And then I used Cure Epilepsy, which is a foundation that focuses on life with epilepsy and how someone goes on through their day with epilepsy. And I use Epilepsy Action, which is another foundation, but they're trying to spread awareness to multiple to people around the world, so that they're more aware, rather than thinking it's just some kind of disability that isn't as important, like as someone being in like paralyzed or something like that, that has to be really taken care of. And epilepsy is just a very strong case of either you can struggle from it or you could slowly just stop and wind up being better and learning how to control those. But that's what epilepsy is and how it may affect someone. And today we went over what epilepsy really is, how it could affect someone, and what the three main types of epilepsy is, as well as how you may be diagnosed or could start receiving epilepsy attacks. Almost, that's all I really have to say, and yeah.